Hi, guys. Welcome back to Homebody Club Podcast. My name is Jade.
I'm Marissa. And I'm Chelsea.
Welcome back, Chelsea. She's here for another episode. Are you guys liking the pink?
Loving the pink.
You guys can sit with us.
Yes.
I felt like it was a Mean Girls reference. Is it where we wear pink on Wednesdays or
Yeah.
something? I like it.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a minute. How are you guys
Yes.
doing?
Doing well these days. Doing very well.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
just been working or what?
Just been doing my usual work routine.
All right, guys. So I feel like it's been a few episodes in, and we definitely all have one thing in common, and I wanted to bring it to the table just to share like our experiences and tips and tricks and in general just sharing a little bit about our work life. I almost choked on this mint. Man, my life flashed before my eyes. Okay. We're all content creators in our own respectable niches and our own communities. I just want to talk a little bit more into it. I don't know if Marissa wants to start out.
For sure, for sure. My content journey has been pretty interesting. I actually think that my belief in my content creating journey is probably a lot different than a lot of people's because I already put myself through the ringer,
Mm-hmm.
like, in the very beginning, like,
Mm-hmm.
within the first year. I I completely changed my content overnight, and I lost 10,000 followers in, like, a span of, like, 1 to 2 months, and it was really heavy, but it was, like, a necessary learning experience for me, and I know that a lot of people don't generally experience that until, like, they're far in, and they're like, "Hey, I wanna change something up about my content."
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I did it right away. So, I was making content about, like, ASMR cleaning, ASMR unboxing, and, like, buying things, right? But, like, I hate cleaning. I hate cleaning. Like, obviously, I'll clean because I need to clean, but I don't even like cleaning, like, my lettuce. Like, I don't even wanna wash that,
Yeah.
you know? It's like cleaning to me is just ick. Now, it did give me made me feel fulfilled in a way that, like, "Okay, I'm actually cleaning my house all the time," you know? That feels good, and I don't know, over time, like, you can only spend so much money if you're not even bringing in a lot of money, and the shopping aspect of, like, unboxing was very unsustainable. And to me, it wasn't what I was passionate about, and the things that I am passionate about, which is, like, m things that encompass being a homebody, which is, like, gaming and anime, reading manga, doing coloring books,
Mm-hmm.
going I also like, traveling, and I like so many other things that I wasn't talking about at all, and, like, I was a faceless channel, like, nobody knew me, you saw the back of my head, my hair, and that was it, there was no real building connection. So one day, I just quit cold turkey, and I changed up my content just in one day, and I learned very quickly that people just hate change. They hate it, and, like, immediately, like, oof,
It makes
I
sense though. If I'm following someone for their food content and then randomly they change everything to like fitness, I'm gonna be like,
I'm outta here.
like
For
that's
sure,
so random, you know?
for sure, and at first, I was like, "Dang," like, I expected it, but I didn't expect, like,
You were
this
thinking that
level.
this is my community and they're gonna stay with me, but
Right,
we're there for the material things, not for you.
right, the things that, like, were just sensational,
Mhm.
and I wasn't even reviewing things too, that's the thing, I was just unboxing products and showing a product, and I was basically just a product machine for brands, and I was making good affiliate money, but I wasn't making sustainable money where I can rely on it, like, month to month, you know?
Yeah.
And so when I changed my content, I learned the valuable lesson of it, so I slowly started reintegrating back to my ASMR ways, and I didn't do too much, I just kinda, like, peppered it in just to make sure, like, "Hey, I still do this, but I'm doing this more now." And
I
as
remember
I
that. I remember that when you were trying to like
Uh-huh.
hold both.
Yeah. And, that was just my way of, like, I'm still continuing this progression, I'm not gonna stop just because I'm losing followers. It's clear, I know what I want, and I need to build connection for me. I want people to know who I am, and I want to build a community because at the end of the day, you can seek out income and, like, you can make content for the money, but that's not what's gonna build it for you. It's the community, and then the money will come.
Mhm.
And, like, don't get me wrong, it's important to have, like, you should be making a livable wage while you're doing things. I think we all deserve to be paid a
Mhm.
livable wage from these brands. We should not be getting free shit. We should be
Mhm.
getting paid for our stuff. Why am I making $0 while you're making money off of me? So, of course, I think we should be making money off of our work, but at the end of the day, that's not really what is important if you want to grow. It's the community. And now I'm glad I did it and I'm glad I stuck through and I'm glad I learned that like the exposure, the views, they come and go. I've been through very low periods where I'm like, dang, I went from making $5,000 a month to making $300 a month and I had to go back to my old job and I was really stressed out and it was I've taken a lot of L's in this journey very early, but I feel like it's really helped me build a better foundation early in the game.
Mhm.
Which I feel like is valuable to somebody who's wanting to be a creator because I can teach you 80/20 method is the way to go. It's something I learned at the Disney Creators Lab is if you're doing something, do 80% of it, and then if you wanna try something new, do 20% of that. So if I'm making 7 videos a day of gaming and I wanna start doing, like, anime content or maybe just reviews or something, right? Then I do 20% reviews, so maybe 2 days I'm doing reviews, and the rest of the days I'm doing gaming, just to kind of feel it out so people can get accustomed to the new change that's coming.
Mhm.
And I feel like that helps a lot, but you also have to be, like, totally aware that you're gonna lose followers no matter what, and it's important to, like, know right in the very beginning, you're gonna lose followers, be aware of that, just know
Mhm.
it. Just know you're gonna lose followers, be okay with that, because it's gonna happen sometime. You can't just be at the top the whole time, you're gonna have to experience the low lows. It's
Mhm.
gonna happen, period. You're gonna have pop-off sessions where you make 100,000 followers in, like, 3 months maybe, right? Because something goes super viral and all your videos go viral and all of a sudden you have all this exposure, but it cannot be like that forever, just like anything in life. You cannot be at a good point forever, you're gonna have the lows. I can speak to this again. I had a really high period a minute ago. I got a couple months ago, I think I got 30K followers on Instagram because I had a couple of videos that went super viral and everything was great, and then I went to the Disney Creators Lab. Okay, and I stopped posting for, like, a week, and obviously my algorithm's all fucked up,
Mhm.
and I'm not getting as much views, and I'm okay with it.
Mhm.
I'm totally okay with it. I'm losing followers every day, I'm gaining followers, I'm kind of, like, evened out, but I'm okay with it because I've been through this before, but worse. And honestly, it's fine. It's a passing experience, and I'm finding now my content that I'm doing is so much more aligned with my vision, which is to cultivate a community of people who are like me, who resonate with me, um, who just, like, wanna connect because I'm the DMs I get, the comments I get, it's visible even though I'm not getting the viewership that I was at one point.
Yeah, it's a reflection, like, the comments, the people that align with you, I can fucking see it from the outside too, like, when I would go on and, like, comment on your stuff, it'll be very, like, what a friend would comment, it wouldn't just be like, "Love this video." I'm like,
Yeah,
"I watched the video," like,
right.
it's just like, "Love the video."
Yeah,
Then people that go in, they're just like, "Oh my god, that specific tea brand that you have in that specific frame of the video, I love that tea." I'm like, how did
yeah.
you see that?" Like, people that actually watch your content and they fucking love it because they can relate to it. "I drink this tea. I Your bed sheets are the same bed sheets as mine," or, like,
Mhm.
"I'm watching that same anime you're watching right now." Like, that feels so much better.
I get that totally, and it just feels like there's I don't know, it's a different energy, and I was telling Zach about this, the other day, I was like, "I know I'm not getting the same exposure I was getting before, but something feels different because it feels like I'm genuinely I understand community
Mhm.
so much more, I understand what it feels like, and I wanna build that for my community where they feel like they can trust me, and they can talk to me, and they know I'm gonna talk to them, and I'm not gonna be an asshole, or just ignore them."
That's so funny because the other day, someone commented on one of my videos, and I replied, and they go, "Thank you for answering." I'm like,
I know,
"Will
I
people not answer you? Like, what do you mean?" But it happens a lot, like, even my favorite food creators, like, I'll share their video, and they'll watch it. Like, I see them watch the story, they don't even heart it.
mm.
I'm like, "The least you could do is heart it." Like, obviously, you don't have to.
Yeah,
No one owes you anything.
sure.
But as, like, a public figure, if I was, on my end, someone shared my stuff, like, I'll like it, I'll heart it. For us, like, whenever people share their podcast stuff, like, Marissa made it a thing to, like, DM them. All they did was share it, but she DM'd them and be like, "Thanks for
Mm.
sharing." Like, that's what it is to make a community. You can't
Yeah,
just ghost them, you
yeah.
know? These are the people that are helping you.
Right.
So that's kind of ass.
It's yeah, no, it definitely and like or I'll get like your video inspired me or like
Mhm.
I went through the same thing with your mom or the with my mom and watching your video inspired me to like go out and like stop being grieving and like living in this darkness and just those DMs I'm like man, it's very fulfilling. It makes me
Mhm.
feel good. So, yeah, that's just, remember that at the end of the day, the community matters the most. Like, your passion and doing what you love to do is also super important, but if you're in this industry, like, just keeping in mind that their opinion of your content too, like, they matter as well. So you don't wanna, like, just jarringly, "Oh, I'm changing my content,"
Mhm.
because that's not nice,
Yeah.
you know? That's mean.
Yeah, it is me,
But
honestly. Some people do it too when like, I guess when you're big, like, let's say creator like Bretman, I do see him still struggle a little bit doing podcast, his, like, new podcast that he came out with, but obviously the loyal people are gonna be loyal, but the other day he's a good like, a good one that everyone knows, but there's another girl, I think she's in Austin, her name's Pia.
oh, I love
I
her.
love her.
Oh, I
Pia,
love her.
I think she's from Austin, but she also lives in New York, I don't know, but she made this random ass, like, account on TikTok, and she posted this video, like, "I just made this TikTok, like, 5 minutes ago, like, how are y'all finding me?" And people are like, "It's so funny because 'cause you're literally on my FYP page already," like, even though it literally says not Pia,
Yeah,
and she go and then and, like, she looks through it, she only posted, like, 2 videos before that, and it was just a whatever video, like,
yeah,
this is literally like a Finsta, but
yeah.
TikTok, and she's like, "How are y'all finding me already?" And they're like, "Girl, you can't run from us." Like, it's so funny, like, that's community right there. Like, people
Absolutely.
found her so fast, even though she didn't even market her
Mhm.
other page, so this is a page she was willing to do just for fun.
Yeah,
They still found her. I'm sure she's at, like, 30K, 40K now.
sure.
Like,
I
that's
love
what it
her.
means to have community, you know?
Yeah,
People are gonna follow you wherever you fucking go.
for sure.
So, I dig that.
Do y'all have
Any other
any
experience?
experiences in the creator
Sphere? Do you wanna go first? Do you want me to go?
Um, yeah, I can talk about it. So for me, I started off doing a lot of health and fitness videos,
Mhm.
like gym content, what's in my gym bag. And I started hanging around a lot of other people in like the fitness influencer world,
Mhm.
like people from Gymshark, like people like in Elfly, like all of that space, right? And honestly, it's a very small community. You think it's a lot of people, but like everybody knows each other. And so I started in 2015, and it was like a huge learning curve for me because I started off very shy. And so it was crazy for me to even want to be in front of the camera.
Mhm.
I started on YouTube, built my page up. I think for my fitness page, I had like 33,000 on Instagram, like 7.5K on YouTube at the time.
Which is crazy because YouTube is
Nice.
hard.
Yeah,
In 2015
2015, yeah,
too.
between 2015, 2019, like, I grew that page
Mhm.
quite a good amount, and
Yeah.
I was hustling, like, I was going to all the expos, like, I was traveling overseas, I went to the Body Power in Birmingham in the UK,
Mm.
and I was just networking, talking to
Mhm.
people, and, like, meeting with other influencers, and what's so crazy to me is I remember following these people, like, from way before, and when you actually meet them,
That's so
it's
funny.
such, like, a different experience because you're like, "Wait, this is not how I pictured you to be, like, your personality is way different." And so that's I guess that's why they say never meet your hero, literally, like,
Yes.
and it was quite an experience because I ended up kind of, like, in the circle of, like, a good amount of, like, big fitness influencers that were very well known, and the thing that really, like, surprised me was, like, these people are beautiful.
Mhm.
They have great bodies, they worked real hard for it, and unfortunately, like, these were the most insecure people, like, mostly speaking, like, on the end of, like, women, because, like, I made a lot of friends with, like, other women in the industry, but, like, actually getting to know them, I was like, "Why are you talking down on yourself? Like, why do you feel the need to, get, like, this type of, like, exposure," right? Like,
Mhm.
posting specific body pics, trying to get the attention of, like, men, and I'm like, no, do it for the girlies, you know what I mean? Like, we're all out here, like,
Mhm.
keep inspiring each other, but, like, unfortunately, like, I've had some, like, bad experiences with, like, people who were other content creators way bigger than mine that I thought, "Hey, like, these are my friends," and tell me why I got backstabbed so many times, like, just by, like, other fitness
That's
influencers.
why it protects my peace.
Yeah, and I didn't know, like, at that time, I'm, like, early
You
20s.
technically started earlier than both of us, if it's
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah, I was maybe what, like, I don't know the math, 22, 20, early
But you in
20s.
2015, I didn't start till 2019, 18.
I try to do fitness as well,
Yeah.
and I would say 2016. 2016, 2017, 2018.
Okay.
Just an way when I got in a relationship.
Yeah.
I put on those happy weights, you know? Yeah. Yeah, so I remember, like, making all these friends, like, which is crazy because I do protect my peace now after learning the hard way, of course. And, like, just, like, one example, I there was this one girl I was doing videos with, and she was from Dallas, so we used to, like, commute to each other, right? I was from Houston. So, we became, like, really good friends to the point where I'm like, "Dang, like, is this my new best friend?"
Oh, that's
And
always so heartbreaking.
damn, the amount of heartbreaks I've
This is going
yeah.
so heartbreaking.
But
Okay.
literally the amount of heartbreaks I've gone with, not with, like, romantic relationships,
It's
but with
friendship.
friendships. So we were like, like, we would have sleepovers, we would, like, talk about content and, like, create ideas and do all these, like, collaborations. And I was like, dang, like, this is my homie now. And tell me why, like, one day I was in a very toxic relationship at the time. And I saw, like, in my boyfriend's at the time, like, ex-boyfriend's messages that he was texting her.
Girl.
And I'm like, "Wait a minute, how did they get each other's number?"
Mm.
And so I approached him about it, and he was just like, "Oh, yeah, like, I got her number, while you were in the shower." And I was just like, out of my phone,
You
like,
couldn't even be
you
like
couldn't
you
ask me?
couldn't come up no, I was like, you couldn't come up with a lie?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Why you gotta make me look stupid?
'Cause, like, I mean, if he was gonna lie, I would've probably figured it out.
Yeah, I was like, at
Not
least
dumb.
lie, at least try.
But, like, he tried to make it seem like I was, like, oh, too busy, and he was just doing it because I was doing something else. I'm like, "You waited
He was
till."
trying to use you, saying blame it on you, like, you didn't give me enough
Yeah,
shit.
narcissistic, manipulation, all
Yeah.
that jazz.
Ew.
So, he was, like, obviously, like, "Well, you were doing something, so I just got it myself." And I'm like, "Well, first of all, why do you need it? And then second of all, why didn't you ask me?" Right? And it wasn't just like, "Oh, hey," like, it was literally all day conversations, telling each other good night, saying, "Oh, we'll talk tomorrow." Like, it was way crossing the line. So, I remember calling her about it because 'cause I'm not gonna just be like, okay, I guess I'll just, like, pretend."
Believe you.
Yeah, I guess I'll just, like, pretend like nothing's wrong and we'll
Yeah.
keep being friends. No, like, I was hurt, so I called her and I was like, "Bro, like, why are you texting my boyfriend?" And she got very defensive. She's like, I can't believe that you would even think that I would wanna take your man,
Ah,
da, 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 da." And I was like, "You know what? Like, if you can't respect the boundaries of, like, my relationship, like, I'm sorry, we can't be friends." And I haven't talked to her since, but that was just, like, one out of, like, multiple, like, during that time period.
that's crazy.
Like, I've had, one other influencer, try to, like, make everybody, like, hate me. Not really hate me, but she, like, made up a situation and had everybody in the group chat gang up against me
Mm.
to the point where I was, like, crying, like, "What did I do?" She was trying to make it seem like, "Oh, yeah, like, Chelsea, she's just here for clout, like, she's just, like," and
She was doing pick me.
she was trying to make it seem like I was, like, a pick me girl,
Yeah.
and anybody that knows me knows that I'm literally, like, I don't care about that stuff.
Yeah, you don't have a pick me bone in your body.
Like, I don't like that, and the thing is too is, like, I feel like at the time especially, I tried so hard not to come off that way, even though I wasn't. I didn't want people to think that I was.
Mhm.
Just because I was, like, I didn't have as many followers as everybody else did, so I didn't wanna be like, "Oh."
You didn't bring ego into it. What's funny is, I do that same thing too, but for me, I'm on the other side where I do like, deprecating jokes on myself instead of, like, "Yeah, I don't like to do that." I'm more of like, "Oh, my dumb ass." Like, I'll just do the opposite
Oh,
just 'cause
man.
I heavy fix it where I don't seem like I wanna be a pick me.
Yeah, that's crazy that we do that though, because it's like watering ourselves down. It's like I know what the potential that I have
Mhm.
is, that I what I can bring to the table. It may not show right now, like in the following, which is not even that important, but it's like what value are you actually bringing?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just people haven't seen it yet. People haven't discovered it yet. So, that was like one other thing that like hurt me, right? And this is like a big influencer that she had the look, she had the body, she had the boyfriend, she had the money, she had everything going for her. And yet, little old me, she was like, I'm gonna make them hate you.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even want to
She
try?
probably saw a lot of potential in you, and she probably felt threatened.
Yeah,
And from what I'm hearing, honestly.
yeah. And it's crazy, like, like me being me, especially at that time, like I couldn't even I didn't even think that that was a possibility. But and And there's another time. See, I have stories for
She
days,
yeah.
but this is over the span of a few years, right? So I moved to LA. This is all in
Mhm.
Texas, by the way.
Oh,
We haven't even got to LA.
oh my wait, those are all girls from Texas?
This is from Texas. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, it really shows that it's not just LA that's shallow
No, no, no.
and
We got shallow people everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately. But yeah, once I moved to LA, that was exciting. We got more ambitious people. We got people out there like chasing their dreams. Like I went out there for acting, modeling, but also content creation. And of course, ended up in the fitness community again, because these
Mhm.
are people I've met at the different expos. And, tell me why, like, when I moved there, one of the girls was like, "Hey, like, are you looking for a roommate? Like, I'm actually, do you wanna live together?" And I was like, "Yeah, that would be fun." Like, and we exchanged numbers, and we were at an event,
Mm,
and maybe, like, a month later, not even, like, a month later, because, like, she had met my ex at the same time, who's also in the industry,
mm.
and I was, like, staying over because we lived separately, so I remember staying over there for the weekend, and she was calling his phone, like, on a Saturday morning,
Mm,
and her contact picture, let's just say, this girl didn't even barely had clothes on, like, it was, like, one of those thong bikinis,
mm.
like, bent over on a balcony. That was the contact photo my ex had of her, and I literally, like, I remember the panic, that feeling where, like,
Oh
your
my
stomach
gosh, yes,
just
it just dropped.
drops, yeah, and you just feel, like, all that anxiety
Mhm.
in your heart, and I remember seeing her calling, and, like, first of all, why are you calling him?
And
First
why is
of
that your
all,
photo?
and second of all, like, why is that the photo that, he chose to save her as?
And it
And I
shows like, does she know? If she doesn't know, obviously, that's one thing, but second of all, if she knew, that's even a different, like, level
what
of
a
shade.
moron!
Yeah.
Why would he say that as, like,
He honestly
honestly,
had no
since
self-respect. I don't
0.
mhm.
0. Trust me, if we have a conversation about toxic relationships, that one, I have so many stories because we dated for 6.5 years.
Mm.
Unfortunately, he was my
Oof.
first boyfriend. And it just turned out that, like, we ended up both being influencers, and his ego was just, like, through the roof. But, yeah, so I wasn't even, like, that was one of those things where I couldn't even be mad at her, right? It was more of, like, mad at him. But tell me why, like, after we broke up, he was, like, at her house. Like, they were, like, posting stuff all the time together, and I was like, "Well, there is a reason why I felt that way."
Yeah.
The betrayal is real, and, but all of these things happen for a reason, right? And I would say that because of my experiences, although it was, like, hurtful and honestly surprising, it really made me feel like maybe the health and fitness industry is not for me. Maybe it's not the place that I feel that I can grow in. So I completely deleted my fitness page, and I pivoted my YouTube page, and in the same thing that happened to Marissa, I lost a couple hundred followers,
Mhm.
maybe not 10,000 because I didn't have 10,000 to begin with.
She's already just like, measles 10,000 people just
Yeah,
left.
measly little if I hit 10,000, I would've been in the negatives, so
Yeah.
I don't even think that's possible.
Could
So
you imagine if, like, social media actually gave you negative?
damn.
That would be funny. That would be so funny. I could see someone suing for mental distraught or something.
Yeah, I would've, yeah, had to go
But
to
yeah,
therapy for something
okay, so
like
you
that,
lost
though.
a lot of people too.
I did, and because I started, like, pivoting, and I was still trying to figure out, like, this new thing, right? Because I'm like, "Okay, I don't know what I wanna do. I know I wanna go away from just fitness. I'm much more than that," right? You come to this realization that you're much more than that one little thing that you put yourself in, and I was like, "I want to do, like, motivation,"
Mhm.
right? So, it started off kinda small, and honestly, I think the hardest thing is starting over, and which was a really
Mhm.
big life lesson for me because it takes a lot because you've already put in the work, right? And then it's like, "Wow, did all of that go to waste?" But then when you actually come to the realization that you have so much more to bring to the table now, and that this foundation that you're building can build even, like, skyscrapers, right? When as before, it can just be, like, a little one-story house. That was, like, how small your foundation was. So I realized that starting over, it wasn't like this feeling of, "Oh god, I," it's just so hard now because I've already done the work. Why do I gotta do it again? But then I'm like, "You know what? Like, everything that I've done to to get me to that point, obviously, I have everything in me to do it again, but more because I have more experience, I have more knowledge, and I feel like this is more in line with my purpose, right? Because there's only so much you can do with just like working out in the gym and promoting health and there's a whole story behind like why I started that. But honestly, and it's so crazy. It's sometimes like the lows in life that propel you into like your calling. Because like the thing that got me to health and fitness was like my dad getting sick and developing kidney failure. And that was because he didn't take care of his health. So I was like, I'm going to promote health. And then being in the health industry and fitness industry, I'm like, okay, there's a lack of self-love and community and woman supporting woman. And I'm like, I want to now promote that because the world needs that so much, especially us as women. There's so many of us that like we live in fear, we live in competition, and it's like pulling us away from like our innate like I guess like ability as women to just create and love
Mhm.
and we're nurturing beings.
Mhm.
Like why aren't we nurturing each other? Why are we putting each other down? So
Well, that was instilled into us by society because they wanted men to be the leaders. And unfortunately, fortunately, women are super, super powerful. I think men have always been very intimidated by us. And so they found ways in which to make us bring each other down and pin us against each other because really, it's all fabricated by patriarchal society.
I agree with that. Yeah.
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 I agree with that
So
too. That gonna say that reminds me of a K drama I watched, but I won't go into it too much because we're already almost at a 35 mark.
Yeah.
But K drama is about this king and this queen. This queen, she helped him rebel against his family, and that's how he became king. He was just the prince. He wasn't even third, fourth in line. But the queen was the girl, the lady. She was like, "I got you." My whole family are like the general, like their army. We can go ahead and rebel. He rebelled. Tell me why he got right when he got the crown decides he's gonna bring some concubines in.
ew.
Yeah, bringing a hella mistress in, and she was like, "What you mean? Like, why you just randomly decide you're gonna do this? Like, I helped you get to the top." But his ego and everything, like, he was pissed off because she wasn't giving him, like, as much attention because she's, like, going towards, like, helping him raise this freaking empire. Like,
Mhm.
he just feels so belittled even though you have the highest title, you know?
For what?
And he started cheating on her hella and, like, making all the girls, uh, go against each other, all the mistresses going against her and,
Wow.
like, just hella disrespecting her. At the end, she dies before him, and he's over here holding her body like,
The girl
so
sleep.
the audacity, bro. Audacity.
They'll do it.
That just reminded me of that. I was like, "Damn, you can give them the world and they could still."
Yeah, feel jealous
That's true.
because you're
But
holding it,
yeah,
because you had it before them.
you're the one that gave it to him. That's why he
Mhm.
feels yeah.
But I think where your vision is really aligns with how I feel because
Mm.
you know, I think it's important too that the girlies come together. I think
Mhm.
that's super important, especially right now.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
super important.
I feel like girlies, but also people in general need to start coming together.
Yeah.
We're all blinded by society for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
But that's for another time. We don't need people in our comments bullying us about our thoughts and religion and all that. But
Respectfully.
yeah,
Oh well.
respectfully. But no, I feel like I can relate with both of you guys on a lot of these topics, to be honest, because I feel like whenever I talk to another creator, a lot of the experience are similar. Like I don't think I really hear like sometimes it's not where there's like, yeah, I started, I haven't really had any issues. Like everyone goes through their freaking trials and tribulations, you know? And for me, I feel like when I started doing content, I was only doing what I knew from YouTube because that was the one thing that I watched mostly was YouTube. And I realized I was like such a hater for TikTok and short form. I was like, fuck TikTok, fuck Instagram. Like they're terrible. There's no reason for me to do that fast paced content, like any of that. And then I made my first TikTok video. And the feeling you get when you get those likes instantly, I was like, oh, I love it, you know? But like after a few, obviously after I got to like what, like 1,500 or whatever, I was like, dang, I'm not growing. None of that. I remember talking to Marissa and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I realized I needed to flip my mindset because my content was selfish content. The content I was making was about me, things I'm doing. And none of it had like a message for other people. There was no like
Connection.
motive. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no connection, there's no motive for it. The content was just there visually and it didn't even have like a message. So I was just like, okay, that makes sense. I'm not giving no one value in my content. Literally, I'm just making food. And even then, I didn't even add like the recipe to the caption. That probably could have elevated my shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, shit like that. Where it's like small things where I'm like, yeah, your shit's visually appealing, but there's nothing to it, you know? And it took me a long time to pivot the content. I feel like now when I make my same daily vlogs, I make it to a purpose where people are like, wow, the things that you're doing within your vlogs, I want to do that. I'm gonna save this. Instead of just like "Mm, show my life in a day vlog and like there's nothing to it. They're just like, why am I watching this girl? Like they literally watched that one part and skipped after like 5 seconds. So I just don't know. I it took me a long time to realize that I was making selfish content. Whenever I realized that I needed to pivot, I also started doing more content for other people. And I think that's what made me realize on how to make content. It made me realize that I was making it a totally different than what people normally would if they were selling something, selling a lifestyle, selling food, selling marketing. Once I got into marketing, it really, I understand the back end of it. And I started working for clients. And I'm going to tell you right now that if you have a passion for anything, don't work under people
Mm.
because all it does is diminish your freaking creativity because anything that you have in your head, throw it out the window because that's not their idea and they're not gonna play along with it unless they really respect you and your craft. They're like, "I see what you can do. I trust you." That rarely ever happens. Most of the time people are hiring you because they already have a brand, they have an asset, they already know what they're going for. So when you're coming into it, you have to really be adaptable. So if that's like what you wanna do is to work under other people, make content for other people, you really have to know that it's not your vision anymore. And that's the one thing I had to learn the hard way, but I somehow use that as my superpower because I'm really adaptable. So when someone comes in, they're just like, "I want high-end luxury for the sushi restaurant." I have to be more high-end with my Fuji camera. But if I go into, like, a freaking backyard American grill, they're gonna be like, "Nah, your iPhone's good," you know?
Yeah.
It really is, like, being able to be adaptable, be on quick on your feet, and just being a people person. I think and I'm not saying I'm the most creative person out there, but I think the one thing people like about me is I'm a people person and I'm adaptable. As long as you can communicate with people and you can communicate and you can listen, because listening is the most important part
Yeah.
when you're listening to a client. So I think I learned it a different way of kind of networking with people. For me, it's like I don't think I've networked with more of like influencers. I've networked more with business owners. That's who I've always networked with. And I think that's what I come with the CEO mindset of if you build a brand, you want to sell that brand. You don't want to just keep that brand for like 20 years and nothing grows out of it. You want to sell it and start on something new.
Mm.
So that's my only advice for you guys. If you guys ever want to go into like UGC, working for influencers, working for big brands, corporate, just to let you guys know that it will take up most of your creative mindset. So that's why I feel like people go towards like doing your own brand, doing your own personal stuff because why you need to work under other people? Like
Mhm.
I'm doing it now, but obviously my goal is to be able to just do it myself, you know? But being able to do this and learning through other people, I would not have half the knowledge for business operation, project management, like all of this SOP stuff. I would not have learned any of that if I didn't work under somebody. So if you want to do it, I would recommend doing 1 year of corporate and 1 year of freelancing. And then after that, girl, go do your own stuff. Like make your own business, make your own company. The world is too crazy right now to just be working a 9 to 5 because you're never going to be rich
Oh my
or
gosh,
free.
yes. So do it passionate about. Do what drives you.
It really is piggybacking off what you said a few weeks ago about how drawing, you were trying to make a commission off of it, but it didn't bring you any happiness.
Mhm.
Same fucking thing. Like, you think that you just because you're filming something would make you feel fulfilled or like you're editing. Literally the same thing you're doing for other people, it won't make you feel as fulfilled as doing it for yourself, unfortunately.
It won't. That's why I had to quit my last
Last
client.
freelance, yeah.
Yeah, because it was taking too much of my energy from me. It was just my creativity was like I could only do so much, but I have so much to give. And.
And it makes sense if you think about it. If you're in a corporate job, you're working 9 to 5, you come home. I don't know how I was doing it, but that's what I was doing. Like, I was doing content creating after my full 5 to 9 to 5 corporate job. You really have to want it. Like, passion beats everything. You have to freaking want it. You can't just get up every day and you're just like, let me post my little video because I might make some money off of this. It's literally just because I'm posting this video because I want to edit this video and post it.
Yeah.
It's because of the passion of wanting to post it. It's so much different than just like, I want those PR packages and
Oh gosh.
influencer money. I'm like, you do understand there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
Do you understand how lost life is when you're a content creator? You're so lost.
Oh my gosh, it is like it's like flailing outside of water as a fish.
Literally. Like, you don't know what
What
the
do I
fuck
do?
you're doing right or wrong. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing until you meet, like, common friends that know what they're doing or, like, they've done more than you experience-wise. So, I'm really appreciative of you guys.
Me too.
I'm able to learn through your experiences and, you know,
Yeah.
like, do's and don't do's.
Different perspectives. Very helpful too. I love collaborating and thinking about like that's why I like meeting new creators because I'm like they always have something new to bring to the table that I've never thought of. And like being around people that are better than me is just ugh, it's
I like that.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I saw this post the other day on Instagram, and I shared it on my story, and it was, "Hang out with winners because it will never feel like you're bragging."
Yeah.
It's true.
Oh, I like I saw that. That was good.
I was like, "That's so fucking true," because, like, I think I remember, like, let's say you're telling, like, something that's happened to you. You're like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited," and you text somebody, and they're giving you this energy, and you're just like
They're dry. Yeah.
I'm just like, "Are you happy for me, or are you slightly a hater?" Because but then, like I say, I text Marissa, she's never given me an ounce of, like, I'm a hater. Like, that's never I've never felt that. Like, if I've ever texted you, like, "Oh my god, look, like, my post surpassed 300 views," or whatever, she'll be like, "Girl, you doing your thing." Like, that's what you need. You need a hype woman, and, like, I feel like vice versa, you know,
Yeah,
like
for sure.
but, like, there's certain people that you text, and you're just like, "Dude, I just got, like hit my 2,000 follower goal."
Yeah.
No one celebrates you like they celebrate you when, like, let's say you get a promotion during your corporate job, or let's say you just announce you just have a baby or something. No one celebrates you in this kind of community unless you're in this specific, like, industry, then you know, like, damn, you worked hard for that shit.
Yeah.
I 100% feel like this is a really good safe space, and I love that Homebody Club Podcast could bring that to everybody else too.
I know.
So hopefully I don't know, hopefully they feel the same energy as we do. And I hopefully they get the same, you know, they feel like they get a message and some good tips out of this as
Some
well.
value. Yeah.
Some value out of this podcast. So I think that's pretty much it. It's a pretty long one compared to most of them.
It is a pretty long one, but we just had a lot of things that we needed to share.
Unpack.
This is the big sister energy we're just trying to
Yes.
bring in. I have knowledge, let me teach you. Today we're gonna be pulling cards.
Yes.
So today we're not really strangers. Another one. We do need to invest in more though. So if you have any recommendations for card games like this, holla because the more the better.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna pull one from random. This is a level 2. We're getting spicy.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Not too spicy though. What's been your happiest memory this past year?
Oh, that's good.
Is it this year or is it like last year?
2025. Let's do 2025.
What's been my happiest memory this past year? Going to Disneyland for the Disney creators was the best memory. I had somebody in the group chat. They're chatting in the group chat. I need to reply to the group chat, but I learned so much from it. Even though I feel like I wasn't my best self. I wasn't like my yappiest self. I feel like I was over analyzing the things I would say and stuff, but it was just such a fun experience just being around creators and learning from everybody because everybody's better than me. So it was really nice to just like I felt like I was starstruck. I was like, dang, like everybody brings so much to the table. I feel like it inspires me to like up my game. And it was just, losing my mom was really hard. And so this was like let me just give you some life. It was like the universe was like,
It's like you were here and then the roller coaster was
yeah, it was like the gift from the universe to like, here, let me take care of you because I saw your struggle and I want you to succeed. And so it was that was the happiest.
reflection, level 3. Okay. Oh, what am I most qualified to give advice about? K-dramas. Out of all things, I feel like that's the most thing I can be confident. I can't even be confident about, like, music lyrics because I forget music lyrics all the time. But, like, for me, it's definitely probably K-dramas. In general, just dramas. I think that's the one thing I'm most knowledgeable about that I'm very confident about sharing. Like, when people tell me, like, "Oh, that one's a hit or miss," and they don't like it, I'm just like, Are you sure? Is it a genre? I don't think it's that you don't like K-dramas. I think it's just a genre that
Not you gaslighting.
hey, it's true though. It's what every time. Every time I tell them I give them a rom-com and they're like, I'm like, you seem like you like the thriller and it works.
Okay. I trust that.
I'm just saying there's different, you know? It's like getting ice cream. You don't like ice cream, all of them, just because you don't like one ice cream. You don't know. You could try different ones.
You right.
Sorry, I am gaslighting, but if you don't like it out the second time, I'm stop. But yeah, I think it's K-dramas.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I trust you with my life when
Yeah.
it comes to
If
K-dramas.
there was a gun to my your head and they're like best 5 K-dramas, I got you.
I'll be like, can I phone a friend? So we did 2, we did 3. Color. Oh, thank you. I think I'll do 1. Okay. I'm gonna take it easy.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, I kind of like this. This is gonna be more for y'all though, which I'm very curious about.
Okay.
What about me intrigues you?
Oh.
Your depth. I feel like there's because you're so kind of not I would say you're kind of quiet. You're like a mystery in a way. I feel like there's a lot to you that I want to learn more about. Like personally, that's what intrigues me is like I feel like if I just talk to you enough, I'll learn that like there's so much more to you. And it's like that mystery, that layer. There's like depth to you.
She's trying to say you're like that mysterious like guy that has a leather jacket on and you like can't really there's like emotionally unavailable.
I'm definitely emotionally available, so I'm very happy to like open up, and especially in a safe space like this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that you say that though, because like I feel like I've lived so many different lives in just this one life, and I'm just like waiting for people to ask. Of course, I'm not gonna go around just
No, literally, that's
the
the vibes.
beans.
I can see it in your eyes that you're like, I'm ready to say something.
Yeah.
But then like you're just like, I'm waiting for you to ask though. I don't want to just dump on you.
Yeah. I'm trying to like, test out the waters. Cause yeah, obviously you don't want me to just be like yapping and like who asked you?
See, I'm the opposite. Don't ask me, I'll share. That's I was gonna say the one thing that's intriguing is that you're so quiet that like it makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time, like like what intrigues me about you is that like it makes me reflect a lot of myself because I'm like, wow, I could be a lot quieter.
Well, I hope I'm not like
No, not like bad. It's just more like
like reflective.
you're influencing me to be more read the room a little bit more. I feel like when I enter a room, I'm always like I don't want to see the party person that like come in and I talk to everybody, which I do. But like I wish I came in and observed the area a little bit more and like don't talk, be more of a listener. I think that's more for me. Like I'm learning and perfecting every day of being a better listener. So I think that's what really intrigues me of you is that you're a very good listener. So
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I was thinking that too. I was like, she's really poised. Like it's you just take in the information and allow like you're the embodiment of feminine energy almost. I would say like being the receiver of of information and like just hearing things out.
that's like one of the things I was gonna say was that you take courses. You're like the first thing you're like, wow, I'm intrigued for this topic. I need to find if there's a course. And I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
educated.
I like to understand things, and I also like to understand people, which is why I listen a lot. And I feel like in order to have a stronger connection with others, you have to listen first. And then when you get to understand people, then you know like how to approach the conversation. And you find things in common too, right? Like, with Jade, it started off with the Fujifilm. And then honestly, like I've just been very honestly grateful that even from like that small interaction, like look at us now, like all sitting on a podcast and like being able to meet Marissa and just like I feel like I had dreams for this before the year started and I had all this stuff on my vision board. And as we're all talking, so funny, I have a picture on my vision board of like women speaking on a panel.
Really?
And like as everyone's talking, I'm like imagining us
Really?
on stage. And I'm like, not my vision board coming to life.
That's so crazy.
So
We're heavy like manifestation girly.
Yeah,
So like for sure, like it gives us chills whenever anybody talks about anything about I did this and this is why it happened. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
yeah, I love that stuff too. I'm really connected with that area, but as you know from that one podcast, that I'm very like reserved when it comes to talking about stuff sometimes. So
Yeah, I'm navigating my way from that too because I do have a lot of people that follow me online that are like church friends because I used to be pretty involved in like the Christian community and I was a part of the worship
We need to be a
team.
little bit more reserved about our
Nah.
I'm kidding. We're over here and talking about cults and stuff.
Yeah, but it's funny. I'm going off on a tangent right now, but like I was listening to a video this morning before I came here, and they were talking about like just kind of like the stigma with spirituality and like being like demonic or all that stuff. And I'm just like, man, like when you really open your eyes and you step outside of that box and you realize that like how everything is just connected and it's more than what you even think. Like
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but it's not like if you don't, then
There's a hell that
then
waits
there's a
you.
hell that yeah,
That's yeah, that could start a whole other blah. That
Oh,
will
yeah.
be in my Buddhism shit.
yeah. And then my boyfriend actually is Buddhist. Like
Really?
he identifies as Buddhist and from his journey. And so like just being able to be open with beliefs in regards to like our beliefs and our like believing in manifestation and there's like this whole stigma around it being like demonic or whatever. I feel like I'm someone that always says to each their own. But I'm just glad that, like, at all of our paths that were so different, like, led us all to be here right now,
Mm.
like, regardless of what our beliefs were from before, but, like, just being open-minded to the magic of life, honestly. I think that's what can bring everyone together.
Mhm.
It speaks to me.
So on a soul
I
level.
could have a whole conversation on a podcast about it. If
Yeah.
you guys want to, let us know. We could have another content creation episode, another just in general life, a whole podcast episode. I feel like that was a pretty jam-packed episode. We're almost to an hour, which is crazy. We haven't done an hour in a long time. But that's pretty much it for the episode. We are on all social media platforms. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys haven't already. And yeah, bye.
Bye. Bye.